Hey everybody, Leah Klett here with the Christian Post, and I'm so excited to be here at the Museum of the Bible for the live stage production of C.S. Lewis's A Horse and His Boy. Well, I'm here with Brinton and Lilliana. It's our Shasta and Aravis.
Yes.
You guys are the stars of the show. How do you feel about bringing this production to Washington, D.C. after you've been in South Carolina for quite a while?
Well, C.S. Lewis was a completely ingenious writer in the way that he was able to incorporate children into the books. And it's something that is really amazing for us to be able to take these roles that are so loved by so many people and to be able to spread them to a larger stage. It's been really fantastic to be able to meet new people and to be able to show them the message that C.S. Lewis was trying to portray.
You guys do such a fantastic job. You really embody these characters. Were you guys familiar with this book before you brought it to the big stage?
Yes, I was. I've read it before.
Okay.
It's very good. It's probably one of my favorites. It's very fun and entertaining when you read it, and you always want to go to the next chapter. Even though I already knew the story, I just wanted to read it, and it's very fun, and I love the story.
Yeah.
I love your dynamic. You guys are kind of bantering back and forth, but you have so much fun. You're having so much fun with these puppets. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, definitely, I feel like it was Shasta's also, is our favorite scenes are the ones with Aslan. We feel like Aslan is really the center of this play, and he's a representative of God and how he's always there with us. So having those vulnerable moments is between Aravis and Aslan and Shasta with Aslan. It's when we come to these moments where we feel like we can't do it on our own. It happens in the middle of the play, more towards the end. And then Aslan comes up to us, and he speaks life, and he speaks truth, and he shows us that he's been with us the whole time. And it's really fantastic to be interacting with that puppet. I feel like you could speak to that more, that Aslan, he's just, the puppeteers are genius with him, that it makes it feel like he's alive and he's a real lion.
Yes. My favorite scene is the same one at towards the end of the play with Aslan, when he comes to Shasta after being through the journey, and he's tired and he feels like he's all alone, and Aravis is with the hermit after being scratched by Aslan, who, if you want to explain that, where she...
Yeah, so they had already traveled through most of Narnia, and they were... Shasta had to run for Narnia, and he had to run to find King Loon, but he had to leave Aravis behind. And so they have that separation after becoming friends, and they feel alone. She's scratched, she's injured, she's with a hermit, and then Aslan comes and speaks to her, and then he gets lost on the way, and Aslan comes and guides him to Narnia, which is really very truthful in the way that even though we can't see the Lord all the time, he is guiding us, and he speaks to Shasta, saying that I was the lion with you. I was the lion who scratched Aravis, but I was there all along, and I was guiding you. Yeah.
I love that. It's so cool. You guys are so young, but you're so mature in your spiritual journeys. I think that is just so incredible. There's going to be a lot of young people that are going to come to the Museum of the Bible and watch you guys on stage, and you're tackling some tough issues in this play.
Yeah.
What do you want kids and teenagers who watch this show, what do you want them to take away from this?
That even though you feel alone sometimes, God is always with you, and Aslan is a picture of that, and him just being with you all the time, and how Shasta felt completely alone when at the beginning of his life, when he was with his the man who he thought was his father, and he didn't love him, and he was mean to him, and he'd come home and be angry at him for messing up with things, and he felt like he was all alone and no one loved him, and just that God is with you all the time. And at the end of the play, you realize that when Shasta was a baby, he was in this boat, and the man who was with him was dead, and the boat was there, and he finds out that Aslan guided the boat to the shore where where that man was, and he picked him up and took care of him, and also he protected Shasta and the tombs from the jackals and all this stuff, where Aslan was with him and helping him.
And I feel like
there
C.S.
for him.
Lewis, he's very unique in the way that he incorporates the real life troubles for children, And I feel like that's very important to know, that you can't always be this happy and find the dragons. We always beat them, but you have to realize that there is trouble in the world. And I know Shasta and Erebus, they both come from very dark backgrounds. They're very polar opposite spectrums, but they still come from very dark backgrounds where Erebus is faced with a lot of questions of suicide and where she just feels hopeless. And it's really beautiful to see how C.S. Lewis incorporated that when she felt hopeless, Aslan was the hope there, and that she finds a friend in her horse who then guides her to Aslan, who then guides her to happiness in Narnia and always following under God's plan. So something to take away from the play is even when you feel like there's no one there, even when you feel like God is not with you, he is there. Something that Erebus goes through a lot is she feels like she can do it by herself, and she feels like she's courageous and she can do it. And she comes to the end of her rope a lot, where she has to turn to someone, and the only person she can turn to who is powerful enough to face the darkness is Aslan. And that's something that's truly beautiful that C.S. Lewis incorporated into the story, is the feeling that God is there and God is the ultimate power throughout the whole story.
Yeah. Are you guys like your characters in real life? Do you kind of identify with them?
Not really.
Like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
I would not jump off of a horse to save someone from a lion.
You wouldn't save me?
Well, I mean,
Come on.
I'd probably wait for the lion to walk away. But I mean, I'd probably try something else than running at it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really think I'm like him, but yeah.
I feel like with Erebus, she's a very stuck-up and sassy character, which I can speak to the sassiness part, not so much the stuck-up part, I hope. But I have a lot of younger brothers that I was able to practice with. So it was very fun to be acting off of Brinton and to be able to be that stuck-up and that haughty princess kind of thing, and then he as just this kicked-down kind of peasant. So it's been pretty fun to be able to portray them. Yes.
What was it like studying to bring these characters to life? Because you've got the accent, you've got like the outfits, you have to, ride these puppets. What was that process like of learning how to really embody these characters?
Well, I've grown up pretty much all my life because my grandpa, he founded this ministry, so I've grown up in this ministry for a long time, and I've been in a lot of the plays. So I've learned how to act here, and my mom has taught me, and my dad, and many other great people, men and women here, who know how to teach, and they taught me how to act, and I've learned here, and I've learned how to act, and I've learned British. When I was little, I'd say random words in British, because many of the plays here, when I was little, had British accents in them, so I'd hear them and say random things, and that's how I learned the accent. And so when I first heard that I might play Shasta, I freaked out a little bit, because the first person who played Shasta was 17, and I was 12, so I didn't know if I could play Shasta, which is the main role of the play. But I learned the lines, and I've done it, and it's been hard, but God has really helped us all through it. So.
And we have such a wonderful team here all of them are so talented, and they're just very fluent in everything that they do, and it's been pretty amazing. I'm a newer actor. I've only been here around 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
But it's been amazing how the Logos Theater, they feel like a big family who is always helping each other out. So as soon as I came to the theater, I felt like I belonged there, and that learning to act and learning the British accent and all of the costumes, the team is just so fantastic that I learned it way faster than I would have thought I'd be able to, just because of how well everything is constructed there.
Yeah. Do you guys ever hear from your peers? Like, what do they say when they see you guys on stage? Because I bet if I was your age, I would look at you and be like, they are the coolest people I've ever seen. Like, imagine doing that. That's the dream. What do your peers say?
Well, there's been a couple that have come to me and say, like, oh, we really enjoyed it very much, and it was good. But then some others are like, wow, you're going to go do great things and go on Broadway and all that stuff. But I don't really care about going on Broadway, and I just rather just send out the message and all that stuff. I don't really care about being good at acting, just as long as I do well and put the message of God out, and it's the main thing I'm really working at. So.
Yeah. I work, my classes are at Classical Conversations down in South Carolina, and so we have a big old class there, and they are huge Narnia fans, so that my peers are all going to be coming up and traveling to come see the play, which is going to be really, really fun to be able to see them, and it's been pretty fantastic to be able to see the other people in the audience and to be able to show that this is such a great work that you can do. And a few of them think we're a little weird because we'll start quoting lines in the middle of class or something, but it's been really fun to be able to show them God's work through the stage.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
weird is good, and you guys are fantastic. I mean, I just love seeing you on stage, and I can't wait to see the whole play. It's going to be
Of course.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
guys.
much.